So in this session, let us start with force vibrations. Okay, so the motion of a particle which has damped simple harmonic motion, but at the same time it is subjected to a periodic driving force so that its vibration do not decay with time, right? So the equation of motion here becomes md square x by dt square minus kx minus L dx by dt plus f0 sine qt. Okay, so this equation can be written as d square x by dt square plus 2k dx by dt plus omega square x is equal to f sine qt. Here we are considering that L by m is equal to 2k, k by m is equal to omega square, and f0 by m is equal to capital F. So here F is the external force per unit mass. So now, as a particle solution of this equation, let us try x is equal to a sine qt minus epsilon. So from this equation, we'll get dx by dt as a q cos qt minus epsilon, and d square x by dt square as minus a q square sine qt minus epsilon. So if we substitute these equations in the above equation, we'll get the solution. Okay. But before that, let us write f sine qt as f sine qt minus epsilon plus epsilon to simplify this equation. So if we write this equation, we'll get f sine qt minus epsilon cos epsilon plus f cos qt minus epsilon sine epsilon. So now from this equation 1.11 and this equations will get the equation as minus a q square sine qt minus epsilon plus 2k a q cos qt minus epsilon plus a omega square sine qt minus epsilon is equal to f sine qt minus epsilon cos epsilon plus f cos qt minus epsilon sin epsilon. Right? So rearranging the term will get a omega square minus q square is equal to f cos epsilon. 2k a q will be f sin epsilon. Right? Squaring and adding the above two expressions will get f square as a square into omega square minus q square whole square plus 4k square a square q square. Right? If we make a as the subject, we'll get a is equal to f upon root of omega square minus q square square plus 4k square q square raised to half. Okay, and also tan epsilon will be 2kq upon omega square minus q square. Okay, or we can write epsilon as tan inverse 2kq root of omega square minus q square. So this equations gives the amplitude and phase of the forced vibration. Okay, depending upon the relative values of q and omega, few cases are possible, such as case 1 where driving frequency is low, that is q is very much less than omega. So in this case a is equal to, we know that a is equal to f upon root of omega square minus q square whole square plus 4k square q square. Right? So if we take omega raised to 4 common from this denominator, we'll get omega raised to 4 into bracket 1 minus q square upon omega square plus omega raised to 4 into bracket 4k square q square upon omega raised to 4. Okay, as we know that the term inside the root in the denominator is very much less, so it is negligible and we can get approximately as f upon omega square, right, which is equal to constant. Also we know that epsilon is equal to tan inverse 2kq upon omega square minus q square. So if we take omega square common, we'll get tan inverse 2kq upon omega square 1 minus q square upon omega square. So this will give us as tan inverse 0, which will be equal to 0. Okay, so this shows that the amplitude of vibration is independent of frequency of external force. Also, the amplitude depends upon the magnitude of the driving force or applied force, which is F, right? And the force and displacement are always in phase. Okay, so this is all about first case where Q is very much less than omega. Okay, now case 2 when Q is equal to omega. So in this case, the frequency of external force matches with the frequency of natural frequency of motion. So we'll get A is equal to F upon 2kq, right? As Q is equal to omega, right? The equation 1.12, substitute Q is equal to omega, the first term in the denominator becomes 0. So we are left with F upon 4k square q square raised to half. So this will give A is equal to F upon 2kq. Right? Also we know that epsilon is equal to 2kq upon q square minus omega. Right? Omega square minus q square. Right? So substituting the value of q is equal to omega. In the second case, we'll get epsilon is equal to tan inverse 2kq upon 0. Okay, so which will give tan inverse infinity. So we'll get epsilon is equal to pi by 2. Okay, so as you can see in this diagram, different cases of Q is given where Q is equal to omega, Q is less than omega, and Q is greater than omega. And you can see how the amplitude varies in different cases. Okay, and what are the types of damping? Okay, so the amplitude is clearly a function of the applied force F and damping force, and the displacement here in this case when Q is equal to omega lags behind the force by pi by 2. Okay, so this is the case of Q is equal to omega. Okay, now let us see case 3 when Q is very much higher than omega. So the frequency of force is greater than the natural frequency. So we'll have A is equal to F upon Q raised to 4 plus 4k square q square raised to half, which is equal to F upon Q square. Okay, also epsilon is equal to tan inverse 2kq upon omega square minus q square. So here we will also get tan inverse minus 2k upon q only. Why? Because q is very much greater than omega. Okay, so here we are neglecting the term omega. Okay, so we are left with minus 2k upon q, which will give tan inverse approximately 0. Right, so we'll get it as pi. So here in this case the amplitude goes on decreasing with applied frequency, okay, and the phase difference tends to pi. Okay. So the amplitude A of the force vibration varies with the frequency of the force. Okay, so we have this form of equation as A is equal to F upon omega square minus q square square plus 4k square q square raised to half. So A is greatest when the denominator is least, right? So when d by dq of this term, the denominator term is 0, A will be the greatest. So let us consider d by dq into omega square minus q square whole square plus 4k square q square raised to half is equal to 0. So minus 4 omega square minus q square into q plus 8 q square q will be 0. So that will give us q square is equal to omega square minus 2k square. So thus the amplitude is maximum when the forcing frequency is omega square minus 2k square raised to half upon 2 pi. Okay, now substituting this term in the expression of A, we'll get A as F upon 2k into bracket q square plus k square raised to half. So for low damping, that is for small k, we'll get A is equal to F upon 2kq. Hence greater the maximum amplitude, lower the value of the damping constant. Okay, also as you can see from this diagram, the variation of amplitude with k by w and the value of epsilon, that is phase with k by w, is given also. And you can see there is a factor Q. This Q is known as quality factor. This quality factor is an important parameter that characterizes an underdamped motion, okay, or an underdamped oscillator. So quality factor or Q factor is defined as 2 pi times the ratio of energy stored in an oscillator to the energy dissipated per cycle. It's shown that Q can be the value of omega upon 2k. Okay. Now this higher value of quality factor represents low underdamping, and low value of quality factor represents higher underdamping. Okay. Also, in case of higher value of Q, right, that is the case of low underdamping, energy dissipated per cycle will be low. And in case of low value of quality factor, that is higher value of underdamping, the energy dissipated per cycle will be higher. Okay, so as you can see in this diagram, different amplitudes are shown with different quality factors, right, with respect to Q by omega. So this is all about quality factor. Now let us see resonance. Okay, so we have seen that the amplitude of force vibration is maximum when the frequency of applied force has a value Q is equal to root of omega square minus 2k square. So if the frequency changes from this value, the amplitude falls. When the fall in amplitude from a small departure from the resonance condition is very large, the resonance is said to be sharp. On the other hand, if the fall in amplitude is small, the resonance is termed as flat. Thus, the term sharpness of resonance means the rate of fall in amplitude with a change of forcing frequency on each side of the resonance frequency. Also, clearly we can see that smaller the damping, sharper is the resonance, or larger the damping, flatter is the resonance. Okay. Again, Q factor is a measure of sharpness of resonance. It is also defined as the ratio of resonant frequency to the bandwidth. Right, that is full width at half the maximum amplitude. Okay, so this is all about force vibration, quality factor and resonance. Thank you.